the final course grade. Okay? And if you missed more than 5 to 10, and you're going to lose 1 credit on the final course grade. If it's above 10 classes, you're going to lose 2 to 3 credits on the final course grade. So you need to think about how many courses, how many classes you have missed. If you miss less than 5, you gain 1 extra credit. You miss between 5 and 10, you lose a credit. If you miss more than 10, you're going to lose from 2 to 3 credits. Okay? I'm going to send you guys an email so everybody knows that. Okay, so that's class we talked about how do we determine the optimal output. Okay? At the end of class, we derived we call the profit maximizing condition. So this profit maximizing condition help us to derive the optimal output. Anybody remember what's that profit maximizing condition to derive that optimal output? Remember the graph? Average total cost, average variable cost, marginal cost, right? Okay, and this is output, this is dollar. So these 3 graphs here represent characteristic of the firm. But to determine how much is the output to maximize this firm's profit, we have to have the information from the market. And so we take the price, determine the market. Okay, remember we talked about perfect competitive market. So the price is determined by the market, and the firm has to sell the good at that market price. Okay, so this is the market information. We take this and bring it here. And with that, and we can determine for this firm what is optimal output. Okay. So you guys remember how do we determine optimal output? What is that mathematical condition? If I show you this is the price, where is output, and how did you determine that?
Is that the one where you had MR equals P equals MC?
MR
Yeah.
equal to P
Yeah.
equal to MC. That's right. What is MR?
Marginal something.
Marginal
Revenue?
revenue. R, revenue, marginal revenue. What's the meaning of marginal revenue? Additional total revenue when you sell 1 more unit, right? And so the marginal revenue in this kind of market is just the price of the good, right? So if iPod is sold for $200, every time you sell 1 unit, you're gonna get $200. So in this market here, marginal revenue is just equal to the price. Okay? And so the profit maximizing condition tells you this. Marginal revenue has to equal to marginal cost. And I want to talk about this condition actually more. Remember, I think the second class, the first class of this semester, we introduced ourselves to each other, but the second class I introduced some fundamental concepts. One of this is called marginalism. What is the meaning of marginalism? Marginalism tells us, and if we want to reach the optimal decision making, no matter what this decision is made by, no matter who is making this decision, it could be an individual like you, it could be the firm's business owner, or industry leader, or a policymaker. So no matter who is making this decision, if we want to reach the optimal decision making, the marginal benefit of that decision has to be equal to the marginal cost of that decision. And that's what we learn about marginalism. So marginalism is it's universal. So no matter what decision you're talking about, it has to follow that principle. Marginal benefit of that decision has to equal to the marginal cost. Here, in this chapter, we're learning about producer theory. So the marginal benefit here for the firm is just marginal revenue. So this MR equal to MC, this is just a representation of marginalism. But since we're talking about producer theory, marginal benefit has to be marginal. Okay? And if we talk about consumers' decision making, what would be the marginal benefit? We'll learn that in the consumer theory chapter. If we talk about decision by you in terms of consumption, what is marginal benefit? You decide whether you consume this burger or not. Is that marginal benefit? What do we call it?
Satisfaction.
Marginal utility, right? Marginal satisfaction. So if we talk about individuals' consumption decision, then your marginal utility of that consumption has to equal marginal cost of that consumption. And you're going to stop right there. So marginalism applies to all decision making. Well, the reason you're here, somebody not here, right? You made a decision to be here. Okay, this decision is made based on the marginal benefit of being here is exactly equal to marginal cost. So here we talk about marginalism. It's universal rule. It's universal principle. Okay. So if you want to remember this rule here, profit maximizing rule, just remember marginalism. Okay, marginalism. Marginal benefit always has to be equal to marginal cost if we want to reach an optimal decision. Alright, so let's go back here. So since in this market here, marginal revenue just equal to the price, then this can be written as P equal to marginal cost. Okay. But only in this market, you can rewritten this way. If we change the market structure later on, we're going to talk about like a cell phone market. Then marginal revenue is no longer equal to price. Okay? So that P equal to MC will not apply there. But in this market, perfect competitive market, that's the profit maximizing. Okay? So this is the price, this is the marginal cost. And we know the optimal output is? Where is the optimal output? Where is the marginal cost equal to price? Where is the marginal cost equal to price? Brandon, where is it? Where is the marginal cost?
That line right there.
Marginal cost here, right? So it's correct. Where is the price? It's right here. Where do they meet?
The who?
Where do they meet?
Right there.
Right? So that's how much they're going to produce. Because that's where P meets marginal cost. So that's what we learned in the last class. So today I'm going to introduce you some concept of profits. First concept I'm going to introduce you is economic profit. Have we seen this term before? Economic profit? Have we seen this term before? Yes, remember? I give you example of Sue and Ann open a belt business in the airport, right? Remember? And I introduced you the economic profit. What is the difference between the economic profit and the profit you knew before? What's the difference? What did we take into consideration in the economic profit?
Cost.
What cost?
Opportunity cost.
Opportunity cost. We take that opportunity cost into consideration when we calculate economic profit. We have seen that before. But I'm going to show you on the graph which area represent economic profit. Okay, the second profit I'm going to introduce you. It's called operating profit. Operating profit. First, I'm going to define this by calculating. I'm going to show you how to calculate it. Economic profit here is equal to total revenue minus total economic cost, right? Remember, it's total revenue minus total economic cost. And total economic cost we learned there, here, would be just total cost. Even we did not say, okay, this is economic cost, but whenever we see is total cost, we mean the economic cost. Economic cost. So that's the economic profit. What is operating profit? We use total revenue minus total variable cost. You guys remember the meaning of variable cost? Total variable cost? Inside total cost, there's two terms here. One is total variable cost, the other one is total fixed cost. Right? I want to, explain to you these two costs again. A lot of you have pets, right? And some of you have to buy them, right? When you buy the pets, you pay a cost there. I don't think you're going to. Nobody, most of people will not get that money back, right? You're not going to sell your pet later on. And so that money, fixed cost. That's why? Because no matter how long you're going to keep the pet, the cost has gone. It's not associated with the length of you keeping it, right? What is the variable cost? The longer you have the pet, the longer you're going to provide the food, provide the shots, some other shots, annual shots. Those costs will be variable costs. Okay. All right. So operating profit. If we want to calculate operating profit only take care of the variable cost. But economic profit take care of all of the costs. Okay. Why we want to differentiate these two? Let's say you just open a restaurant. You put $20,000 into the fixed cost, building the building, buying the equipment, the tables, chair, and the kitchen supply, everything, $20,000. You know that first year you're not going to get that money back. You know that. So you're not too concerned about those fixed costs the first year. What you're more concerned about this total variable cost, which is the cost of the raw materials, okay, the cost of the vegetable, meat, and the supplies, and also the cost of utilities, and also the cost of the laborers. You're concerned about those costs, whether those costs will be covered by your revenue. If within the first couple of years, your daily expenses will be covered by the revenue, then you're content. So the first couple of years, you're concerned about whether the operating profit is positive now. Because if this is positive, that implies that your revenue covers your daily expenses. So you're willing to continue your business. But in the long run, you will not be content just covering the daily expenses. You want the building cost be covered, You want those kitchen supplies, those utensils and table chair, all those fixed costs that you spend at the beginning to be covered, right? In the long run. So in the short run, you're concerned about operating profit. If this is positive, you're going to keep going. But in the long run, you're concerned about economic profit. And you're only going to keep going if this is positive. So that's why we differentiate these two profit, because that's different concerns in a different time period. Make sense here, guys? Okay. So now what we want to do is, if I give you this graph here, without any other information, price is there, the characteristics of the firm is there. Can you tell me what this firm is going to do? Is this firm going to run in the short run? Is this firm going to run in the long run? So that's what we're going to learn, majorly today. How we going to decide for this firm based on graph? Okay. First, I just want you guys to give a guess. The price is right here. Can you guess whether this firm is making a positive economic profit or not? So which means, is this firm going to run in long run or not? Just give a guess. What would you think? What would you guess? Just guess. It's okay if it's not right.
No.
No? It's not making economic profit. Okay? Other opinions?
Yes.
You good?
Yeah.
You're good with it. Okay? You're good with it?
I say yes.
Yes. It is making economic profit. Okay. What else? Okay. Let's see how we learn whether this is making economic profit. Where do we start? Start from this formula. And we're going to break this formula down. Okay? How do we compute the total revenue? What's the formula of total revenue? Revenue. How do we compute total revenue?
Profit minus cost.
Revenue. Price times one. Okay, price times quantity. Sell $200 per unit. You sell for 10 units. 200 multiplied by 10. Total revenue. Price multiplied. Okay. Do we know the quantity this firm produced right now? Do we know it? Where is it? We found it. Q star. Do we know the price the firm is going to sell this good at? Alexis? Where is it? The price is right here, right? Okay, price is right here. And the quantity is right here. So can you tell me in this graph which area represents the total revenue? Casey, can you tell us which area represents this? P, price. P multiply output. P is right here, right? Q star is right here. So which area represents P multiplied Q star?
I don't know.
P is right here.
Yeah, I realize that.
This is the distance, right? This is the value of P from here to here. And this is Q. So which area?
That whole rectangle. Area to the left.
This whole thing represents the revenue. How much money this firm brings in. Okay? So we figure this out. Now we need to figure this out with cost. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to break this down. We're going to break down into the form that we can utilize information on the graph. So how are we going to break this down? Total cost. But we do not have total cost here, right? something else. Average total cost. We have average total cost. So how are we going to utilize the average total cost to calculate total cost?
Variable cost?
Okay, what is the formula? Do you guys remember the formula last class from what is the average total cost equal to? Huh?
AFC plus ABC.
Yes, that's one formula. And then there's another one. How do we actually find this? Average total cost means the cost per unit, right? So which is equal to total cost divided by quantity, right? So how are you going to utilize this formula here? How are you going to use this to transform this?
What's up?
Justin? How are we going to represent this by using this formula here? We can
Multiply the Q by the ATC.
right? Now we can do this, right? We have every information we need to calculate this total cost. It's ATC multiplied Q star. We have Q star. And we also have ATC. But the ATC value, where's the ATC value here? Where's ATC?
The lowest point?
Huh?
Is it the lowest point on the curve?
Because this ATC represents ATC when you produce at Q star. So when you produce Q star, it's pointing to that point, right? So this is ATC at Q star. So now we have everything we need, right? This is ATC and this is Q. So can anybody tell me which area represents total cost? Dante? Which area? So which area represents this now? This now equal to ATC multiplied Q. This is Q, and this is ATC.
All of that in that little rectangle.
Huh?
All of it in the rectangle.
This part here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do it, but you know guys, it's this area. So before the revenue is this area here. But now we know the total cost is this area. So is this profit negative or positive? Positive. And where's the profit? It's this, right? So let me erase all this. So now do you guys know how do we use graph to calculate economic profit? Yes? Can you do this yourself? Good. Here's some positive answers. So this is the profit. This is the economic profit made by this firm. Okay. So we know from this answer here, is this firm going to keep running in the long run? Yes, because economic profit is positive. Okay, now I'm going to ask you, do you think this firm is going to run in the short run? We know this firm is going to run in the long run. Is this firm going to run in the short run? So which means we already know this is positive. From this answer here, can we determine this? Whether this is positive or not? We know this is positive. So which means total revenue is greater than total cost. Now I'm asking you, if we know this is positive, Can we know something about that? You're afraid of me gonna ask you? Can we say something about that? Andy? What can we say about that?
It would be smaller than the average total cost.
This,
Yeah.
we know this is smaller than that, right?
Yeah.
Because that is a part of the total cost, right? So in a sense, you can say, just use a simple example. Total revenue is 10. Total cost is 5. So this equal to 5 versus 0, right? Okay. The total revenue should be the same for the operating profit. But now, the total variable cost is less than that. So it's a number less than 5. So if this is already positive, what can you conclude about that?
It's gonna be positive too.
It has to be more positive, right? Because this profit here is always smaller than that. You know, economic profit is always smaller than operating profit. You may want to write this down. Economic profit is always smaller than the operating profit. So if smaller profit is positive, then the bigger one must be also positive. Okay, so is everybody clear on this? Did you guys follow me on that? Why this is also positive when this is positive? Everybody follow the math here? And then when you minus bigger number is positive, then when you minus small number, it must be more positive. Okay? Okay, so in this case, we know both economic profit, operating profit are positive. So this firm will run in the both short run and long run. Okay, good. So now we're going to keep this form. This form is still this form. The firm characteristics do not change. But something in the market has changed. What has changed? Also, the firms outside this market see the profit made by this firm, they attracted to this, so they came in. More firms come into this market, so something happening here. When more firms,
The price goes down?
yes. So when the more firms come in, can you tell me what's happening here? When more firms come in to produce similar products, what's going to happen here? On this graph.
It's gonna shift that way.
Which one gonna shift?
Demand.
Demand or supply? More firms come in, start supplying, start producing more. Supply is higher, right? Supply is higher. Yeah, demand could change too, but based on what I just described, when more firms come in, start producing similar product, is something happening on the supply side, right? Look at here. When the supplies shift to the right, what happened to the price? Goes down. The price is cheaper. So now the market has changed. Since market has changed, and we have to change this price in this graph here. This price will shift down. When this price shift down, what do you think is going to happen to this two? Before they sell this iPod at $200, but now only $150, because there's other firms selling the similar products.
It's gonna go down too.
Both profit are gonna go down, for sure. So I'm going to ask you this. Now suppose this price goes down to this level. before it's right here. It's really high. Okay? And let's show you. Can you intuitively guess whether anyone will be positive or anyone will be negative? The price has gone down. You know both profit gonna go down. But is there anyone that's gonna become negative?
Say negative.
Negative.
So,
Total economic profit. Because between these two profits, I just told you this is a smaller one, right? So if anything more likely become negative, this is one. And in this case, it is true. When the price is located right here, the economic profit is negative. What does it imply? In the long run, what the firm should do? Get out of this market. Because your revenue is not going to cover your total cost. But how about in the short run? If this is positive, this is negative, this is positive. So in the long run, you're going to get out, but in the short run, you can tend to keep going. If the price is right here. Now I change the price again. Now the competition in the market is really tough. A lot of firms start coming in. The price has gone down a lot. Now price has gone down to here. What would you guess about economic profit and operating profit? What's your name?
Justin.
Justin. You're not the Justin. Okay. You're Justin. So what's going to happen to operating profit, economic profit?
Goes negative.
Hmm?
Goes negative.
Both are negative. Right now, both are going to be negative. So the firm is not going to run either in long run or the short run. Okay. So now I'm going to summarize and generalize how you're going to determine this. Okay, just based on the graph here. I'm going to erase this, okay? Basically, look at this, the location of these three lines. So how can you conclude about the location of the prices to determine whether each one is positive now? You know, if the price is really, really high, it's more likely both will be positive, right? But how high? What is the cutoff value to make both positive? It's cutoff value. What is cutoff price level that make both non-negative? We know this is a positive. How about here? What do you think about here? Yes? How about even lower here? So where is the cutoff price value? Then below that, one of the profit, which economic will go negative, which is that cutoff.
Below the average total cost?
That's right. That's right. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you this crucial price level, which is called cutoff. It's cutoff value, but we have a different name for it. Okay? It's the lowest point of ATC. This is one of the cutoff value we're interested in. What do we call this price level? We call this is break-even point. At break-even point, write down this. At break-even point, your economic profit is equal to 0. But your operating profit is positive. This is break-even point. It is break-even point is the lowest point of ATC. Break-even point is the lowest point of ATC curve. At that point, economic profit equal to 0, and operating profit is positive. When the price is below break-even point, then the economic profit will be negative. This is one crucial cutoff value. Are we going to find another crucial cutoff value? There's another crucial cutoff value. Where's the other one? Where's the other one? I think some of you seen it. I know she has seen it. She just want to give you guys a chance to see. Where the other cutoff? Hmm? Where?
Lowest point for the variable cost?
Lowest point of? Lowest point of what?
Variable cost?
Average variable cost. And what do we call this one? We call this the shutdown point. What do we mean by shutdown point? Because at this price level, your operating profit is exactly equal to 0. So which means that if the price is slightly lower than that, your revenue will not cover your daily expenses. So you will shut down your business. So at that point, and you barely make it in the short run. So at the shutdown point, your operating profit is equal to 0. What about economic profit at shutdown point? It's negative. Okay, so now we're very clear about this picture here. We use this two as a border line. If the price above that, above the break-even point, then you know both operating and economic profit are positive. You're gonna run in both. You're happy. If the price is in between break-even point and the shutdown point, you're going to have a negative economic profit, which you're going to get out of the market in the long run, but in the short run, you will keep running. That is when the price is in between. But if the price is below that, you're not going to run your business at all. So by using break-even point, shutdown point, and then you divide into 3 different categories of firm's decision and firm's profit. Okay. All right. Now I want to ask you here. At shutdown point price, what is output? What is optimal output produced by the firm? So they barely make it, but they will keep going, and they will keep going, even though because it's so. What is optimal output?
Bring it.
Still applies that rule, right? Price equal to marginal cost. Where the price is here, marginal cost here. Right? Okay, so this is Q1. At break-even point, what is the output? Still, price P equal to MC, right? Now I'm going to give you another price. Price is right here, P3. Where's the optimal output right now? Nothing new. Right? Good. Price equal to MC. So this is Q3. So if you look at this, how did we find this Q1, Q2, Q3? Actually, did we use ATC curve, ABC curve at all? We did not. We did not use this at all. Because if you look at this formula here, just price and the marginal cost curve, that's all we need to find optimal output. We don't need ABC and ATC. So actually, if we're just interested in optimal output, we're not interested in the profit. We can just take that all out, right? Okay, and given a different price, then you can find a different optimal output. So now it gets interesting, right? It tells us something about what this marginal cost curve can provide us. This marginal cost curve can provide us the optimal output given at each different price, right? So in a sense, this marginal cost curve describes the relationship between the price and optimal output. So do you think that this marginal cost curve remind you of something we learned before a long time ago? What the other curve or line we learned before had the same relationship, described same relationship. On the vertical axis, what is it? What is this? What is this? What did the other curve we learned a long time ago describe the exact same relationship? From chapter 3. In chapter 3, what do you learn? That's chapter 2. That's chapter 2. Price and quantity. Price, quantity, supply. What is that? Quantity, price, quantity, supply. What is that? You guys make it too hard. Price, quantity, supply. What is it? Supply curve. What supply curve describe? The relationship between the price of the goods and the quantity supplied by the firms. Look at this. Different price, different quantity supply. when I teach you this, when I taught you this supply curve, I did not tell you where it's come from. Where it's come from? Come from this formula. Come from the producer theory, check this chapter. So this marginal cost curve is where the supply curve come from, where the supply curve is derived from. And in a couple chapters ago when we talked about consumer theory, I told you where the demand curve come from, right? Now, this producer theory tells you where the supply curve come from. They come from the marginal cost of the firms. Does that make sense? Are you guys follow me here? Are you engaged? Today, you're very engaged. I can tell from your face. Even some of questions you still cannot answer, but a lot of you are very engaged. One more last question here. If that's where the supply curve come from, does supply curve include all of this part, or only partial part of it? Part of it. Which part? Which part we should cut it out?
At break even and shutdown point?
Which part?
Like shutdown? So stop there,
Stop here. Including which part?
including all the way up to break even?
Including on this part? Or continue?
Continue.
I'll explain to you. That's the only part we're going to include, we're going to consider as a part of supply curve. Why do we not include this?
So it's not including.
Shit, our business.
Because if the price is lower than that, the production, the supply, quantity supply will be zero, right? Because it's shut down point. So any price is below that, the firm is going to produce zero. So of course this part cannot be included. So, okay. So now we finish the major part of this this 3 chapter. Okay. We understand how the optimal output derived. It's derived from the formula P equal to MC, and that is actually application of the concept marginalism. And also we know where the supply curve is come from. Supply curve comes from marginal cost curve before, but only partially, only part of it. And also we learn what is shutdown point and what is break-even point. And also, depending on the location of the price and how much profit the firm is going to make. So it's very, very crucial things we have learned today. So any questions?
When you said that the breakdown point, if it's above it, you said that the economic and the operating are both positive, right?
They're both positive, that's right.
So if it's in the middle, then the economic one is negative and the other one is positive,
Correct.
and then both of them negative.
Yeah, that's right. Any question here? Could go over another question, but I think I'm going to stop here today, okay? And I'm going to go over a application question for this concept next class, okay? So you know how to utilize it. So today is Wednesday? Okay. So I'm going to sign the homework for this chapter, which is chapter 8, and it will be due Saturday. Okay. Question? Why? Sunday night?
Yeah, because I have other classes I see on Sunday night, and then I can on Saturday.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll make it due on to Sunday night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.